Welcome. Thank you for volunteering. We have a critical situation.
I set out to showcase ShelterBox's work in a fun and creative way, using the popular media of gaming and virtual reality.
We are relying on your calm efficiency.
ShelterBox's way of working is recreated in the sense of purpose and urgency for appropriate responses to human disasters. With little time for planning, resources must be gathered and shipped out. But the ease of doing so is affected by constraints such as restricted budget, limited ability to raise funds, and ever-changing situations on the ground. The sense of urgency is maintained by pressures of time and limited financial resources. As has been pointed out by Charles Butler, making a game too easy or too shallow can harm its fun rating. An increased level of complexity should, therefore, lead to more fun, with players returning for more, and a greater chance of ShelterBox's message being heard. Due to a limited budget, the player must hold regular fundraising events and wait before funds are made available. An operation can fail before the player has finished assigning resources, with all resources being lost and a hole created in the budget. These aspects of gameplay ensure the player can never rest and must keep working to build a score. The game ends when all missions have been completed or have failed, or there are insufficient funds left in the bank and no fundraising opportunities left. Deploying a resource is as simple as picking it up and throwing it into the correct box, a natural action in any VR context. Resources are placed within easy access, with each displaying a price tag. Videos showing ShelterBox relief operations are projected onto the 4 monitors, and lists of required resources are checked off as items are deployed. A virtual desktop computer displays the randomly selected fundraising events on rotation that can be selected at the appropriate moment by touching the screen or tapping a keyboard. A heads-up display pops up every so often to inform the player at key moments. Most actions gain or lose points. Successfully completing an operation earns the most, whilst a failed operation incurs the greatest loss. Research has shown that leaderboards and social comparison can also encourage motivation. The growing number of people playing multiplayer online games, ergo games with leaderboards, emphasizes people's natural competitive nature. As a tried and tested device, the leaderboard could therefore be an important means of increasing not only interest in the game, but also the number of player returns, leading to a higher chance of volunteer sign-ups, increased donations, a general raising of awareness, and the generation of a buzz surrounding ShelterBox's work. My leaderboard solution stores a list both locally and within the cloud, allowing synchronization when switching between online and offline. Firebase was chosen for its favorable cost plan and Android SDK. On discovering compatibility issues between the SDK and Oculus, due to Firebase's requirement for Google Play services, I made the switch to a RESTful API. The event at the NEC had been seen as an opportunity for user testing and primary research ahead of the main event in Honolulu, and its postponing has highlighted the importance of unit testing. I felt a need to carefully consider the app's visual fidelity, particularly using slick and interesting animations to help give the game life. The futuristic vision of monitors coming into existence, floating, spinning and vanishing, locates the player in a stimulating science fiction-like environment. To my eyes, the most striking and lasting impression of ShelterBox's visual identity is the light blue-green box with the yellow catch. This I used to create the main palette for the game's environment. Along with photographs I took on location, including the ShelterBox sign that spans the height of the visitor centre and the chalk sandwich board that sits outside the main entrance, the palette adds to a thread of corporate identity that runs through the entire game, from the virtual building to its contents and the lighting used to illuminate the control room.